Welcome. Good morning. Welcome, everybody. It's a great pleasure to teach again at Ginat's Rice Forum, and we had already a very enjoyable class, and I'm very excited, and I hope that you will enjoy my cooking as well. As Jarka mentioned before me, I come from Slovakia and in Middle Europe. Now I live in the US, and I would like to present a traditional dish from my own country. At the beginning, I would like to notice like one difference that I noticed after moving to the US, and that is that in Europe we have very strong national and cultural traditions. Every country is very different, and they are all very proud of their specialties. In the US, it's very international, and you really or people living there really appreciate cooking and different things from a whole world, and it's very like international here. And I found like macrobiotics especially is more like maybe Asian oriented, because you had really strong, great influence from Asia here. And there are many also other influences, but it's a bit different for me. Like when I in my country, like we usually when we cook in macrobiotic way, we just take our national dishes and then exchange many ingredients, make sure they are balanced, and that's it. So it's kind of more specific for us, and it feels more like our own cooking. So now I would like to present you one dish that is very typical for Middle Europe, like in Slovakia, but also you can find this kind of dishes in Czech Republic and Germany. So it's not like traditional Slovak dish. And let's eat dumplings with dill sauce and tofu. So I have not that much time, so I will start straight away with making of the dumplings. And I will make dumplings from leftover grains. I have here millet porridge, which is already cooled down. And I will just mix a little bit flour. Now I want to get the flour here. So this is whole bread wheat flour, but you can also use other flours, like you can use buckwheat flour if you are allergic. That works very well. I like very much the whole wheat flour because it adds a bit more sweetness into the dish. So, and I will mix this thoroughly. I don't tell you how much flour I use because that's very different for what kind of grain you use and what kind of flour you have. But the point is that if you are making it from the wheat flour or spelt flour, you make sure that the dumpling is pretty hard. Like yeah, if it's soft, then we will steam it later, and it will become like too soft, like bland, and then it's not very enjoyable. The point of this dish is that it makes very interesting balance between all sorts of side dishes that are there. Like these dumplings that I will make, they will not have very strong taste. They will be more like bland. So then I will make a sauce, and the sauce will have like stronger taste, very distinct, and the dumplings will be kind of more drier. Yeah, like it's like bread, but it's not so dry like bread, not so young. So the sauce will be there also to balance the dryness of the dumplings. And then I will make the tofu, which I will fry on the pan, and that will make very nice complement to the sauce. And then there is usually one more side dish, usually some kind of pickle or something sour, because all these three things will be cooked for a longer time, so you need something more fresh to make the dish kind of yeah, like fresh, very, yeah, like you need also this kind of big fresh energy. So I will just form the dumplings in my hand. It's very easy. It's very easy to form. Also, if you use other grains, it's very nice also from barley, or if you have leftover rice, very nice. They have to use like any leftovers. You can also, if you have different kind of um, leftovers, then you can just mix them all together. So that's fantastic. Think about this, that you have a bit of rice and you have a bit of millet, just mix it all together and with flour, and that's it. Yeah, it's very easy to form. And only thing that you should be careful of, you can't really make dumplings from leftover porridge, or you can, but the porridge is usually very watery, so you would need to add really a lot of flour to make it hard. So that's not a good idea. I think I will just make two not that big dumplings, and I will leave this for later because we are just two of us here, Alex, Jack, and me. So we don't need that much to eat. It's a very satisfying dish. So we will need only very little to use. So I will washing my hands now, and now I will steam the dumplings. I have here this Asian kind of steamer, but you can do it also in other kinds. But the only thing is that they need to have some kind of space where you put it. And I will put this paper on it. That's actually how this kind of steamer works. But if you don't have this kind of steamer, for example, you have a steel steamer, then you can use a kitchen towel. It works very well. Like you can also do it without any, but if you did that, then it will be very dirty, and it's not so easy to wash the steamer sometimes. So this is just to save you time. So now I add water, or maybe a little bit less, like this. It doesn't matter. Like if you should put there higher level of water because we will steam them like for 30 minutes. If you do less, then it will steam off and then it will burn. But you can also always check it in the middle, and then you can add more water, no problem. So it was dumpling, very nice. I actually like to use dumplings also, or advise to recommend dumplings to people who don't want to eat bread because they are too young or have some kind of health issues. So dumpling is something that if you have really strong cravings from bread, that it will definitely help you overcome them. You can, like now it looks like two small breads. So when it's done, you can add, you can just slice them and put something on it. I like mustard personally because it's so bland, but you can try also marmalade or some other things.
Danka, is the steamer basket actually sitting in the water? Is it touching the water?
Look, I will show you. Here,
I see. Okay.
Small
Good.
layer. Yeah, it's
good.
Like in Slovakia, I used a steel iron basket, which I just insert in the pot and then put a lid on it. Or some people have like a steamer pot. Those are also very good for steaming.
We get to the top of it straight up the and in many places, they water.
I'm sorry. I don't know. There is, if you
Yeah, I
maybe
don't know.
maybe can write the question in the chat and somebody else can ask you because I had trouble hearing this one. Yeah.
And yes, parchment paper is under the dumplings for Bill, who asked.
Yeah, it's some kind of special paper. It's called parchment paper. Yeah, for 8-inch bamboo steamer. So this you can buy on Amazon. So it's called like parchment paper for steaming. But these are, and they have different sizes for different steamers. Yeah. Otherwise, you can also, if you don't have any steamer and you would like to try to make a dumpling, then you can also boil them instead. To boil the dumplings, you would need to make them a bit more solid because it's easy for them to dissolve in the water. Yeah, so this is a bit more complicated for beginners, and this is very easy. Everybody can do this. So, and now I'm going to make the sauce. Sauce in Slovakia, it's something a bit different, or in Middle Europe, it's a bit different than what maybe you understand under sauce. Like what we understand about sauce is like different dish or side dish that is very thick, and you get a large portion on it, and it's always served besides the grains. It's not like when you have a sauce for example, for tempura or for sushi, that you have very thin liquid and you just dip in the thing into it and then you eat it. This is like a separate side dish which has many vegetables in it and it's quite thick. Well, I will show it to you. So, and they are very popular in Middle Europe. We have all kinds of sauces. I was just looking into a history book yesterday, just to find out a little bit more about it, as this is a very traditional preparation. And I found out that actually, historically, just in Czech Republic, there were like 99 types of different vegetable sauces. So they really love them and have a great variety of them. Now, I have cut the onions for the sauce in small cubes. And now I will heat up the pan. Looks like the flame. I think this is not proper. I have to. Let's see. Okay, now it works. And I will add a little bit of oil at the bottom, like maybe half teaspoon. And I have here this organic sesame oil. You can use also like sunflower oil or olive oil. It doesn't matter that much. Here it's a bit of cold now. It's cloudy and misty, so I will use rather sesame oil for it. Yeah. So then I have here these yellow string beans, which are very delicious. And I will just pick a few and I will cut them as well. And this is enough. Let's see how the oil is doing. It's done. So I will add the onions to the oil and stir them a little bit. And then actually I also need to fry tofu. So tofu in this dish is instead of a meat. Like traditionally, this sauce was served with some kind of steak. Actually, mostly this kind of sauces were supplements to a meat dish. And that's also why they often contain the spicy to balance the meat, or they were made from some kind of fruit. They made really nice balance, very nice complement. But this is just the tofu, so I will make a vegetable sauce. I will cut tofu in a few half-inch slices. 3, 4, I think that's enough. And I will put the rest of it here in water, then it stays good for a longer time. And put it in the fridge. Now, I will heat up the pan and also add a little bit sesame oil. Now, I think that the water is already boiling, the water for steaming. So I have turned the flame lower, and now I will let it just cook at a low temperature for like, I don't know, 20 minutes. Now I think the oil here. If somebody doesn't want to use so much oil, like maybe I'll have a soup later, so that's okay. But you can also make the onions and all the sauce without oil. That's also fine. No problem. So I will wash the yellow green beans. And now I will cut off, you see they have these hard parts here, and they are not so pretty anymore. So I will cut those off. So, and now I will cut them in small parts, like half-inch. Okay. And the tofu is fried already, so I will just check that it won't burn. And I think I can turn it over. And I will add a pinch of sea salt into the onion. So as you can see, this is really a quick, nice dish. that doesn't take much time, and it's very enjoyable. It's a nice change to many macrobiotic dishes when you have just like a file of grain, and then you have a file of vegetable, and another file, and another file. So this is more interesting because you have these dumplings, and then you have very nice sauce where you can dip the dumplings to make them more tasty, and in combination with fried tofu, it's very delicious, and it's very popular, and it's served in many restaurants in Slovakia and Czech Republic. It's actually how this dish became more popular originally in the Middle Europe. Like it's, sorry, I just checked the onions. I think they are doing well, so I will add the yellow beans to them. And I added a small pinch of sea salt again. So, yeah. So this is more what was originally a dish or cuisine for middle class in Germany, and it was it's like you have there like meat and the dumplings, which can last for a longer time, and then you have the sauce. So and the sauce usually when it's done, it can be very heated, and it's still very tasty. So when people started to travel more and they visited restaurants, it was often served there because it was simply a very easy dish to make. It was easier to make than, you know, when you are doing all sorts of vegetable side dishes. And that's how it then spread to Czech Republic and to Slovakia, and now it's basically considered like a really tradition, but people don't know that it's not actually our typical dish that people would eat in very poor families. It was more like for middle class. So everything is going nicely. I will make sure tofu is not sticking. And I will add shoyu to tofu now. For this amount, I will use maybe like what is half or between half and 1 tablespoon. And tofu is very lean, so it can take a lot of shoyu. It's just like I know soybeans, which are very fatty. But some people get a reaction to shoyu, or it's there's something that makes shoyu very tightening. So I like to add a little bit of mirin to it. I added like half tablespoon now, and that was to balance shoyu, but you can also do it without it. And now I will add water. just making sure that tofu won't stick. And so I added so much water that tofu is now completely covered. And now I'm setting water to boil, and I will boil the tofu until the water completely boils off and all the flavor will be absorbed in it, and then it's very tasty, and actually it will be a little bit crunchy, with which again complement the sauce very nice. Otherwise, besides tofu, you can prepare tempeh in the same way. Or you can also serve this dish with seitan. With seitan, it can even more resemble the original traditional dish, because seitan resembles with its taste and structure much more meat than tofu or tempeh. So I'm now also I added water to the beans with an onion, and I will cook it until it becomes soft, and then I will add a little bit of kusu to it to make it thicker. So I will, now I have time, I will prepare kusu. I will add maybe just like something like half teaspoon of kusu, and add like 1 tablespoon of water in it, and then I will mix it together. When you are using kusu, it's always important to dilute it in cold water. If you use hot water, then kusu won't dissolve, and it would just remain in lumps. So it's important to use cold water, and use only like small amount, like here you can see, because if you use more, then it's more difficult to dilute it. And then I will prepare the dill here, which I will add at the end of cooking. This is organic dill from our shop, and I just take these soft parts here. So what I do is just I take this long part, and I just gently pull, so this other part will separate. I think this is more than enough. We really like dill a lot. So, but if it's too much, then it's not so nice. And I have washed the dill, and now I will cut it in very small parts. And then I will add it to the sauce towards the end of the cooking. So it will cook just a little. It won't be raw, but if you overcook it, then it won't be so tasty anymore. I'm just checking, and I see, oh no, the water has, I was talking, the water has evaporated from the dumpling. So I need to add some more. That happens sometimes. If I add more water, it shouldn't happen. I just didn't want to add too much, because then if you add too much, then as you start boiling the water, it will raise more up, and it will bend the dumplings too much, and they won't be so hard anymore after cooking. Yeah. So what to say more? Like actually, when I will serve it, so that I will put the sauce on the plate. It will take a big place, like a lot of space. And then I will serve the dumplings around it and the tofu over the sauce. And then at the side, I will put some cucumbers. And that's how it was served in the restaurants, or how it was served for the middle class people. But lower class people ate it very different. They had a big bowl of the sauce, and they took the dumpling. They got a bigger part of the dumpling. Then they took the meat in the other hand, and then they dipped the dumpling in the sauce and ate it like this. And actually, the sauce was the most delicious part of the dish, not the meat, which is quite surprising. Or at least in some regions, it was so that in this kind of dish, the meat was not the most precious one, but the sauce. So actually, children were taught to take the meat so that other people can have more of the sauce. It's very funny. And now I just do this sauce so that I stir fry the vegetables, and then I add more water, and then I will thicken it with kuzu. Apart from kuzu, you can also use arrowroot, or many people, especially not macrobiotic people, use cornstarch. That works also very well. I like to use kuzu. And then you can also make the sauce so that you just cook the big pieces of vegetables, and then you blend it in the blender, and then you will reheat it and thicken with kuzu or whatever you use. And so basically, like this way, you can take any kind of soup that you prepare in a similar way. Just use less water and then thicken it, and you have nice sauce for dumplings and tofu. And you can make really, even without knowing other recipes, I will show you just one. You can make a big variety of other dishes this way. So I will turn the dumpling to tofu now, so that it will absorb the water equally from both parts. And I think that the dumpling was cooking long enough, so I will take it off, and I will let it steam off. Just I will use this other board for that, because if it's hot like this, then it's more it's not good to cut it yet. It has to steam off, then the water will evaporate, and the dumpling will solidify more. I will put it here and check the sauce. Check the onion if it's soft. Onion, especially when onion is cut small, it takes some time for it to get soft. But this one is soft already, so I just add more water here, so we have a sauce really. Now, I would like to ask the audience if anyone ever cooked something like this? I don't ask Yarka if she's still there because I know she did, but I will be more interested in hearing from people from other countries if they know this kind of dish or it's completely new to them. If you could share, please. Or you can also unmute yourself or just tell me that.
Yeah, anybody? Don't be shy.
That's easier for me because I can see what you comment so well.
It's completely new to me. It sounds delicious and looks really good.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very
Yeah.
much for sharing that. Yeah, it's very delicious. It's
I've never made it or tasted it, and I can't wait to try it.
yeah, definitely try. It's very easy, right?
Yeah, yeah, it looks
about it.
amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, yeah, and tofu is also getting done soon. And I think I will already take it on the plate. Well, I will, for every person will get 2 pieces of, sorry. So I will show you how to serve only 1 plate. Okay. I have to clean this here. And the water is coming to boil. I will add the oil now into it. And I will also add kusu to it. Maybe a little bit more kusu would be better. So, and actually, there were traditionally, basically, like apart from the main, like vegetable sauces, there were basically 2 types of sauces that people make. It was like black sauce that was made from fruit, like plums or even like marmalade or raisins and some sweeteners. It was sweet. It was for the meat, and then there was white sauce that was made from milk or some kind of cream. That was also very delicious. And this sauce that I'm preparing right now, it's actually more the milky type of sauce, but of course I'm not going to use milk. I will use plant-based cream for cooking, especially for sauces. Or actually, I meant to use it, but I forgot to buy it. So I will use veganese, which is not ideal because it's not so creamy or not, it won't dilute that well. But otherwise, if you would like to use the cream for sauces, then I would recommend buying Oatly or Provamel cream sauce. It's sold in very small packages, like this small. And you need only small amount, like, I don't know, for 2 people, I would use maybe 1 teaspoon. That's enough. And these sauces are more fatty, they are thicker. So they will make the sauce even more delicious. Kusu is boiling, and the dumpling has steamed off, and it's getting more solid, so it's time to cut it. I will cut this one. I will make like half-inch slices again. It's good if you cut the dumplings. It's good to have cleaner, like and wet knife, so it won't stick so much. If I wait it even longer, till it cools off more, then it will be even easier to cut. But I think my time is ending soon, so I better not wait too long. And here I will serve it at the edge of the plate, like this. I forgot to tell you about the dumplings. Like they originated sometime in the Middle Ages, and first were made from meat. Like they mixed meat, some vegetables, some spices, and flour, and then they boiled it together. But then they later, only in 19th century, they started making them from like old bread and flour. And now they make them either from white flour or from potatoes. But I find that it's actually very nice to make them from the grains. Just thicken them up and you have completely new dish. Yeah. So, and I think the kusu is ready. You need to boil it till it gets transparent so that it gets cooked. Any starch, it's not so good to use it raw. And then at the end, I will season it further with ume vinegar. That's very nice. I will just use a few drops like this. Besides ume vinegar, you can also sometimes use lemon. It's very nice in the summer. Then you will add a bit more salt to it, and then you add then you don't add kusu, but instead you will add the lemon. And or you can use a combination of ume vinegar and apple juice. Apple juice is traditional in Europe, so it's many times part of our cuisine, and that will make a very nice taste.
What are those that you're putting on the plate? What are those green things?
That's dill.
It's kale?
Dill.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Dill. And I will add here pickled cucumber. That goes very nice with the dish. I think just one is enough in this kind of weather. Otherwise, you can also use some other pickle that you have. And
can we use parsley in the sauce?
Of course, parsley would be one. Or yeah, I would do parsley is great. Or you mean for the instead of dill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use parsley. The difference will be that in the taste, like it will be more sweeter. This is with the dill, it's more interesting. But you can use parsley. Only it will take off some kind of specific taste where there is very nice combination of the taste of the onion with the string beans and dill and ume vinegar. It all goes very nicely together. So here it's how it looks. Yeah, like very surprising. Like you have basically the sauce is the center of the dish, and then around it you have all the other things like the dumplings and tofu and the cucumber.
Would you add more vegetables to this meal?
It's very satisfying and filling like it is. So I would not. We have like almost 11 here now. So I will make a soup, but otherwise that's all. You will see that if you do the dumplings, that they are very filling, and you won't even like feel like eating more at all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So that's it. I encourage everybody to try it and enrich your repertoire of cooking. It's a new cooking method, new taste, new energy. That's always great to have in your life. And if are there any other questions regarding the dish or that you would like to ask me?
At one point, it seemed like you said you were going to take what you called the sauce, the green beans and the onions, and then put them in a blender and cool and blend it into a more smooth sauce, and then heat it up again. Is that an alternate method?
That's an alternate method, and that I would actually use for other vegetables than this one, because this is actually nice how it is when the vegetables stay full. Sorry, stay whole. But I would do it, for example, like you like squash soup, like
Yes.
creamy squash soup. Yeah, you do it like you boil the vegetables, put them in a blender, and then boil them a little bit more, just to get rid of the electric energy feeling. But you can make the same thing, add just less water, and thicken it, and you have nice sauce. You
Wonderful.
can add, yeah, you can add a little bit more spices to it, so it will be more interesting, for people. Because the point is that the dumplings don't have any spice, and there is like just a lot of flour and grains, and that's a bit bland. So you really need sauce which has more specific taste, so a bit more herbs or a bit more spices to make it nicer. And you have a new dish. You just created yourself.
I was going
Number
to ask.
100 on the list. Excuse me, Maya, I'm just going to give my thanks to Danka. It was a wonderful class. And I super appreciate you and your cooking and your abilities and your presentation. Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ginette. It was really a pleasure to cook again for this forum, and I appreciate everybody who came and watched, and I hope that you enjoyed a lot. And if you would like, I have made just recently a free webinar on how to heal fever. So I would all like you to invite to see it and get some new tips. Coming fall, maybe it will be handy. And if you would like the recording, then just write me please at the address energeticsoffood@gmail.com, and I will send you the link to get the recording.